Hello, my Down Magic Musing family. I am the Earl of Florida, and I am not your humble host. That would be Lord Cephas. And speaking of Lord Cephas, that's where we're going to dive right in to the top five Starfighter craft from science fiction TV and film. Now, as a rundown, if you want to watch Lord Cephas's pick, you can click the link up here somewhere. Maybe it's here, maybe it's not. We'll try to put it in there. But if you just want to continue on, we're going to go through his five and my five. His number five was Starfighters Babylon 5, which I thought was just a ripoff of the XWing, so I did not include that on my list. Number four is Viper of Battlestar Galactica. He woefully quoted Battlestar Galactica 1980, which is criminally insane. Then he went with the Peregrine of Star Trek, the fighters there, which I also wasn't a big fan of. Number two, Thunderfighter of Buck Rogers. Pretty much all that is the land speeders on Hoth that they were using to take down the AT Walkers. So I'm not impressed. And number one is X-Wing of Star Wars, and I'll talk more of that later because perhaps it made it to my list. So, without further ado, and wasting your time and my time, and well, if Lord Cephas is watching it, I'm completely fine wasting your time. But my number five is the Rwing of Star Fox. If you don't know what the Rwing of Star Fox is, then you did not grow up playing video games, specifically the Nintendo 64. If you have nightmares of golden rings that you just can't make it through, then perhaps you played Star Fox and you flew the aforementioned Rwing. Okay, real talk, I love Star Fox. I love flying games. So for me, Star Fox was a requirement, a necessity, and the Rwing was fun. It was sleek, it was nicely designed, and it was just fun, plain and simple. So moving on. My number four is going to cause a lot of people to cry and send me threatening letters, but if that's the case, then Lord Cephas actually gave those to me, so send them to him. If you like what I said, then obviously send them to me. But number four is the Rapier of Wing Commander. No, not the video games. I'm talking about the movie. Why would I be talking about the movie, you say? Because the Rapier of Wing Commander was awesome. Hands down, it was ridiculously awesome. Okay, I didn't play I didn't do anything of the other Wing Commander stuff, so I did not go into this movie with expectations one way or the other for story or characters or anything like that. All I knew was these guys were flying fighters with a Gatling gun on the nose of their plane. Yes, you heard me, a Gatling gun. And so, just on that principle, this Starfighter should be included in the top five, and hence it made my top four. Number three is Viper of Battlestar Galactica. Yes, I'm agreeing with Lord Cephas's number four, but not because of the Battlestar Galactica 1980. I too love the original. I watched the original with my grandmother and my cousin. But I also fell in love with the Rapier with the reboot Battlestar Galactica. This Viper is it's a beautiful thing. It's fun, it's sleek, it's takes on a life of its own. So Vipers are a requirement and necessity, and if it's not on your list, then you're fired. You're released. You may go home and cry yourself to sleep. Moving on, number two for me. This is, again, Lord Cephas mentioned back in our day when we were growing up. And for me, one of my favorite movies was a little-known Dennis Quaid and Louis Gossett Jr. film named Enemy Mine. Now, the majority of the film takes place on a planet, but preceding that, you got to see the BTA Echo fighter. And it was cool. It looked cool. It to me, it still stands up today. The beginning, the dogfighting, if you want to see some, older fun, click onto that, watch that, but then watch the rest of the movie because it was a very good movie. But the BTA Echo, for me, has to be my number two. And moving into number one, Lord Cephas had to be right eventually. So, X-Wing of Star Wars. Yes, the X-Wing Star Wars is my number one. Why? Because Lord Cephas touched on it. One of them is, lock your S-foils in attack position. That's when you went from 2 wings and they opened and became 4. So now you suddenly have 4 lasers firing. You have 4 engines on, each of the S-foils. You've got, it's a superior fighter. You've got shields. You could go with the A-wing, which is faster, but it just doesn't punch like the X-wing. You could go with the Y-wing with more power, but the X-wing can fly circles around it. So the X-wing is for sure the number one. And I mean, it doesn't hurt that Luke Skywalker blew up the first Death Star in an X-wing, and then Wedge Antilles. If you don't know who that is, check out the X-wing Squadron by Aaron Austin. Michael Stackpole. I apologize, but also some of the Wedge Antilles stories continued with Aaron Austin and Red Squadron series. Check them out. A lot of fun. X-Wings for the win, hands down. You can't beat it. And that's my top 5. Number 5, the R-Wing of Star Fox. Number 4, the Rapier of Wing Commander, the movie with Freddie Prinze Jr. and Matthew Lillard. Yes, a Gatling gun on the front wins every time. Viper of Battlestar Galactica, because you can't have this list without the Viper. Number 2 is the BTA Echo of Enemy Mine. It was a personal favorite. Loved it. Can't get away from it. And number 1, always going to be number 1, no matter what kind of Starfighters come out in the future, will always be the X-Wing of Star Wars. Again, if you agree with us, you disagree with us, tell us you're right, tell us you're wrong, leave a comment. I promise not to cry more than 5 minutes in the corner because, well, I got a new shirt. I don't want to ruin my 1994 Transformer shirt. So, love you, Midnight Magic Music family.